Hello everyone. Today I want to tell you something that can change your mindset forever. It's not money, it's not talent, it's your attitude. There comes a moment in life when you're tired. Not physically, but tired of people misunderstanding you. Tired of trying so hard and still being unseen. Tired of giving your best and watching others succeed with less. Tired of pretending everything's fine when you're breaking inside. And in those moments, you don't need more talent. You don't need another degree. You don't even need more time. What you need is attitude. Because attitude is not just how you speak or walk. It's how you face your pain. It's how you stand when the world pushes you down. It's how you keep moving forward with fire in your chest and silence on your lips. People will say, you need luck. You need help. You need support. But the truth is, you only need one thing to restart your entire life. A mindset that refuses to be broken. That's what this video is about. This is not theory. This is what real life demands. This is the code every survivor, every champion, every underdog lives by. Attitude is everything. And from this moment, so will you. Your life doesn't change with luck. It changes with attitude. And as you listen, you'll build both your mindset and your English. Lesson 1. Your attitude is more important than your situation. People spend years trying to fix their situation. They say, if I had more money, I'd be happy. If I had better parents, I'd be confident. If I had more support, I'd succeed. But this thinking is dangerous because it gives all your power to things outside you. It teaches your brain, you are a victim, wait to be saved. But here's the truth. Two people can face the exact same struggle. One rises, one breaks. Why? Not because of luck, not because of intelligence, but because of attitude. Imagine this. There are two brothers born in poverty. One becomes addicted, bitter, angry, blames the world. The other becomes disciplined, focused, powerful, and builds a new life. Same situation. Different mindset. Your attitude is not what you show when things are good. It's how you choose to respond when life is unfair, when it's raining and you're broke and tired and alone. That's when your true character is revealed. Because your situation can delay you. It can hurt you. But it cannot define you unless your attitude lets it. So stop waiting for life to be easier. Start training your attitude to be stronger. Because the truth is, you don't need a perfect start. You need a powerful response. Your current reality may be hard, but your attitude decides whether this chapter is your excuse or your evolution. That's the first and most important lesson. Fix your attitude, and you will start fixing your life. Lesson 2. A bad attitude destroys more than failure ever will. Most people think failure is the enemy. They believe failure ruins dreams, breaks confidence, and blocks opportunities. But they are wrong. Failure doesn't destroy you. A bad attitude does. Failure is normal. Everyone fails. Every successful person has fallen thousands of times. Failure is simply information. Failure says, this path didn't work. Try another. Failure tries to teach you. But a bad attitude? It closes your ears to every lesson. It convinces you that life is unfair, that you're unlucky, that others have it easier, that nothing will ever change. A bad attitude turns you against your own future. Let's understand something important. A person with a good attitude can rise even after 100 failures. But a person with a bad attitude will fall even with 100 opportunities. Your attitude decides the story you tell yourself. And that story decides whether you fight or surrender. Think about this. How many people do you know who are talented but stuck? Not because they lack skills, but because they lack the mental strength to keep trying. The moment something goes wrong, their attitude collapses. They get irritated, they get emotional, they blame everyone, they lose patience, they stop believing, they shrink. That's what a negative attitude does. It slowly kills your ambition from inside. You may look alive, but mentally, you stop growing. And what happens next? You start avoiding challenges. You stop dreaming big. You start protecting your comfort. You accept a smaller life. Not because you can't rise, but because your attitude whispers, "This is all you deserve." But you must understand a deeper truth. Your attitude becomes your ceiling. A weak attitude makes a weak future. A strong attitude makes an unstoppable future. A bad attitude is dangerous because it feels comfortable. It makes you believe you're right even when you're limiting yourself. It makes you defend your limitations, justify your excuses, and cling to your fears. But life respects only one kind of person. The person whose attitude refuses to surrender. And here's the most powerful part. Changing your attitude is free. It costs nothing. You don't need money. You don't need support. You don't need perfect conditions. You just need the courage to shift from "what if I fail" to "what if I rise higher than ever?" You need the courage to shift from "they hurt me" to "they cannot stop me." You need the courage to shift from "I give up" to "I will win eventually." Your attitude is your inner voice. And your inner voice decides whether your life becomes a battlefield or a victory lap. So remember this. Failure is not the end. A bad attitude is. Fix that, and you will never be truly defeated. Lesson 3. Attitude is power. Nobody can take away from you. Everything in life can be taken from you. Your job, your money, your relationships, your health, your comfort, your plans, your stability, your certainty. All of it is temporary. Life can flip in a second. People can change in a second. Your environment can collapse in a second. But there is one thing, one force, one weapon that nobody can ever remove from you. Your attitude. Attitude is the only power that remains yours forever. Even in the darkest moments, even in the worst situations, even when everything around you falls apart, you may lose everything else, but as long as you still have the right attitude, you still have the ability to rebuild your entire life. Attitude is the quiet fire inside you that keeps burning even when the world turns cold. Attitude is the refusal to be defined by temporary pain. Attitude is the decision to say, "No matter what happens around me, nothing will break me from within." You have seen people who lost everything, yet they walked with dignity, not because they were fearless, but because their attitude did not allow them to collapse. And you have also seen people who had everything, money, support, comfort, yet they crumbled the moment life became difficult. Why? Because they had everything except the one thing that mattered, a strong inner character. When your attitude is powerful, the world cannot predict you. No setback can control you. No insult can distract you. No loss can weaken you. No fear can silence you. Your attitude decides your reaction. Your reaction decides your next action. And your next action decides your destiny. You don't need the world to believe in you. You need only your attitude to believe in you. Because the moment you decide you are unstoppable, life slowly starts rearranging itself around that decision. Here is the truth you must accept deeply. Strength is not in muscles. Strength is not in intelligence. Strength is not in luck. Strength is in the core of your attitude. When everything is going wrong, your attitude says, stand up. When you feel alone, your attitude says, keep going. When people doubt you, your attitude says, prove yourself silently. When you fail again and again, your attitude says, this is not your final chapter. Your attitude is your identity. Your attitude is your shield. Your attitude is your weapon. Your attitude is your foundation. And the world cannot break a person whose inner world is built on strength, clarity, and calm. As long as your attitude is unshakable, your future remains undefeatable. Lesson 4. Your attitude decides who stays and who leaves. People think success is about connections. They think it's about networking, going viral, becoming known. But what they forget is this. You attract what you reflect. And what you reflect is your attitude. You don't need to speak a word. Your energy enters the room before your voice does. And that energy, that silent force, comes from how you see yourself and how you carry yourself. Your attitude. Some people constantly lose relationships. People leave, friends disappear, opportunities fade. And they ask, why does everyone walk away from me? But they never ask, what kind of energy am I giving off? Let's be brutally honest. No one wants to be around a person who constantly complains, who plays the victim, who drains energy, who never lifts themselves up or anyone else. But the moment your attitude becomes powerful, people feel safer with you. They respect your presence. They admire your discipline. They are drawn to your clarity and calm. Confidence is attractive. Self-respect is magnetic. Stillness under pressure creates trust. And all of that comes from attitude, not looks, not money, not fame. Do you want to be respected? Fix your attitude. Do you want to be loved deeply? Fix your attitude. Do you want to be followed, remembered, supported, and trusted? Fix your attitude. Because attitude is the unspoken language of the soul. It tells people everything they need to know about you without you saying anything. If your attitude screams insecurity, they'll avoid you. If your attitude whispers calm strength, they'll want to learn from you. If your attitude says, I don't need approval, the world will start giving it to you. In life, you don't get what you want. You get what you believe you deserve. And belief is visible in every action you take. So from now on, stop worrying about who likes you or leaves you. Start building an attitude that makes the right people stay and the wrong people disappear. The stronger your attitude, the better your circle will become. The weaker your attitude, the more chaos you will attract. You don't chase the right people. You become the right person through your attitude. Lesson 5. Success doesn't start with skill. It starts with attitude. There's a lie most people believe, that you need to be talented first, that you need experience first, that you need to know everything before starting. But the truth is brutal and simple. Skill is not the beginning. Attitude is. Talent without the right attitude becomes wasted. Intelligence without the right attitude becomes pride. Ambition without the right attitude becomes pressure. But even average skill, backed by a relentless attitude, can build an extraordinary life. Look around the world. You'll see people with less education, less money, less resources, but they are winning. Why? Because their attitude says, I'm not here to ask for permission. I'm here to build my future. They don't wait until they're perfect. They begin. They improve. They fall. They rise. They keep showing up. That's the power of attitude. It doesn't wait. It moves. It adapts. It learns. It grows through fire. And the most successful people in the world? They didn't start as experts. They didn't have step-by-step clarity. They just had a bold, aggressive, patient, hungry attitude. Attitude gives you speed when you don't know the way. Attitude gives you patience when things go wrong. Attitude gives you vision when nothing is visible. Attitude gives you belief when the world gives you doubt. Here's what average people do. They wait for motivation. They wait for signs. They wait for the right time. They wait to feel confident. But winners? They decide. They say, I will do it anyway. And that decision comes not from logic or mood. It comes from a bulletproof attitude. Attitude is the engine that keeps running when fuel is low. It keeps you awake when your body is tired. It keeps you hopeful when you've failed 10 times. It keeps you learning when you have no one to guide you. It keeps you disciplined when no one is clapping for you. Without that attitude, you will break. But with it, even your flaws can't stop you. Remember, people with the right attitude can learn anything. But people with the wrong attitude will lose everything. Success does not start with talent. Success does not start with privilege. Success starts the moment you look in the mirror and say, no matter how long it takes, no matter how many times I fail, I will not quit. I will figure it out. I will win. That is not skill. That is not luck. That is not genius. That is attitude. And that's where your success truly begins. Lesson 6. A strong attitude turns pain into power. Pain is a universal truth. You cannot avoid it. You cannot escape it. Life will hurt you. That is guaranteed. But here's what no one tells you. Pain is not your enemy. Your attitude toward pain is. Because pain by itself is powerless. It only becomes destructive when your attitude turns it into hopelessness. And it only becomes powerful when your attitude turns it into fuel. There are people who suffer once. But because of their attitude, they suffer again and again in their mind. They carry the same wound for years. They replay the same betrayal for months. They never let go, never forgive, never grow. Because their attitude tells them, stay angry, stay broken, stay small. But what if your attitude changed? What if you said, yes, I was hurt, but I will not carry that pain forever. I will use it. I will rise with it. I will build something stronger from it. Then that same pain becomes your power. Look at the strongest people you know, the calmest minds, the fiercest hearts. They weren't born like that. They were built in the fire. They were made by pain, not destroyed by it, because their attitude refused to be a victim. They didn't let pain turn into hatred. They didn't let pain turn into fear. They didn't let pain turn into revenge. They let it turn into discipline, wisdom, resilience, and vision. And this is where your entire future changes. If you keep asking, why did this happen to me? You stay stuck. But if you shift your attitude to ask, what is this trying to teach me? Then you grow. If your attitude says, I deserve a perfect life, you will break the first time life becomes hard. But if your attitude says, nothing can stop me from evolving, you will become unbreakable. You may not control the pain, but you absolutely control what it becomes. A strong attitude converts every disappointment into deeper focus, every heartbreak into emotional strength, every rejection into redirection, every delay into discipline. Pain can destroy people. Pain can transform people. And the difference is attitude. From today, repeat this silently every time life gets heavy. I will not let pain define me. I will let it rebuild me. That mindset alone will make you stronger than 99% of the world. Lesson 7. You can't fake attitude. It's built in silence. In a world obsessed with showing off, attitude has become a performance. People wear clothes to look confident. They post quotes to look wise. They speak loudly to look strong. But none of that is real. Because true attitude cannot be faked. You cannot download it. You cannot copy it. You cannot fake it for long. It will reveal itself when pressure comes. It will expose itself when no one is watching. Attitude is not built in front of an audience. It is built in silence. It is built in your private battles, in your lonely nights, in your early mornings, in your quiet decisions, in the way you handle failure without anyone knowing. Real attitude is formed in the hours when no one is clapping for you, no one is watching, no one is helping, and still you show up. Still you keep your word. Still you stay focused. Still you stay kind. That is where real attitude is born. And it is stronger than any fake confidence money can buy. Let me tell you something deep. Anyone can look confident when things are working. Anyone can smile when they are winning. Anyone can pretend to be strong in front of people. But true attitude is this. Can you control your emotions when you feel invisible? Can you move forward when you don't feel motivated? Can you keep your integrity when nobody is checking? That's not acting. That's identity. That's not performance. That's character. Real attitude is quiet. It does not beg for attention. It does not chase validation. It does not explain itself. Real attitude is patient. It doesn't need to rush. It doesn't panic and delay. It doesn't fall apart under pressure. Real attitude is calm. It doesn't compete. It doesn't compare. It doesn't complain. You want to be respected. Start building your attitude in silence. Train yourself when no one's looking. Be disciplined when no one's checking. Be loyal to your goals even when they feel far away. Because when the storm comes, you won't need to act powerful. You will be. Lesson 8. Your attitude sets your standards. Everything you accept in life, how people treat you, what kind of work you do, what kind of love you allow, what kind of life you live. All of it is a reflection of one thing. Your standards. And what sets your standards? Your attitude. If your attitude is strong, you don't accept disrespect. If your attitude is powerful, you don't beg for love. If your attitude is clear, you don't chase what doesn't match your worth. But if your attitude is weak, everything in your life becomes negotiable. You let people walk over your boundaries. You stay in toxic situations. You keep doing things that drain you because deep down, your attitude tells you, maybe this is all I deserve. That one sentence has destroyed more lives than failure ever did. Let's say this clearly. You don't get the life you dream about. You get the life you tolerate. You get what you settle for. You get what your standards allow. And every standard you set starts from your attitude. A person with a strong attitude walks into the world with a silent message. I don't beg. I don't settle. I don't shrink. I rise. And the world listens. That person doesn't have to prove anything. Their posture speaks. Their silence speaks. Their calm speaks. Their eyes say, I know who I am. That kind of person doesn't need permission to demand more. They are more, not because they're better than others, but because they have trained their mindset to expect better. So ask yourself, what are you allowing? What are you settling for? Who are you becoming in silence? Because your life is not a reflection of your dreams. It is a reflection of what your attitude says you deserve every single day. And here's the truth most people avoid. If you keep accepting less than you need, you will eventually forget what you truly deserve. But if your attitude is powerful enough to say, I would rather be alone than disrespected. I would rather struggle than be fake. I would rather build slowly than live someone else's dream. Then your standards will protect you, guide you, and elevate you. Attitude is not about arrogance. It's about alignment. It's about saying, I am not here to survive this life. I am here to lead it. And you cannot lead a life that you are afraid to demand. So if you want better, don't start with asking the world. Start with asking your attitude. What do I really believe I'm worth? Because whatever that answer is, that's the life you're currently living. Lesson 9. Your attitude will either heal you or destroy you. Every day, your mind is having a conversation. And most of that conversation is silent. It's not visible to the world, but it's controlling everything. Your peace, your decisions, your direction, your pain, your healing, your future. And that inner conversation is led by your attitude. Most people don't even realize it. But they are living in a war between the part of them that wants to grow and the part of them that wants to give up. And attitude decides which side wins. You wake up tired, your attitude speaks. You fail at something. Your attitude speaks. Someone insults you. Your attitude speaks. You feel lost. Your attitude speaks. And if that voice says, you're nothing, you always fail, it's not worth it, they're better than you, then you are not living. You are slowly destroying yourself from within. But if your attitude says, yes, it hurts, but I'm not done yet. Yes, I failed, but I learned something. Yes, they left, but I still have me. Then every day becomes part of your healing. Attitude is the doctor of the soul. It can cure you, or it can poison you. People think healing is about time. No, healing is about how you choose to see your story. It's about what you choose to tell yourself. It's about whether your attitude says, this is where I end, or this is where I begin again. And here's the raw truth. You can have therapy, you can have support, you can have time, but if your attitude stays broken, you will keep breaking yourself. Your attitude is the lens through which you see your pain. If that lens is bitter, you will turn into a person you no longer recognize. But if that lens is clear, calm, and patient, you will rise even with scars. That's what makes someone powerful. Not the absence of pain, but the presence of a healing attitude in the middle of it. So ask yourself this: are you choosing an attitude that heals you, or an attitude that silently destroys everything you're trying to become? Your future is watching, and your attitude is deciding where it takes you next. Lesson 10. You are always training your attitude, whether you know it or not. Every day, your attitude is being trained, not just during challenges, not just in motivational moments, but every second, in how you think, how you react, and how you speak. Most people don't realize it, but they are training their attitude to become weaker without knowing. How? By complaining about small things. by reacting emotionally to people who don't matter, by giving up the moment something feels difficult, by blaming, comparing, overthinking. Every one of those habits is like feeding poison to your mind, and over time, it becomes automatic. You don't even question it anymore. You lose your patience in traffic. You snap at your family. You stop after one failure. You overreact to one message. You waste energy thinking about things you can't control. And what you're doing, without realizing it, is building an attitude of fragility. An attitude that breaks easily, that overreacts, underdelivers, and expects someone else to fix life. But here's the truth. You are always training. The question is, are you training for weakness or for strength? The strongest people didn't become unshakable by accident. They trained. They practiced emotional control in small moments. They learned to pause. They learned to endure. They built inner silence in everyday frustration. That's why they don't break when life gets hard. Because they've already trained themselves to stay calm under pressure. So if you want to build an unbreakable attitude, start in the ordinary moments of life. Don't wait for a big storm. Train in the rain. Control your reaction when someone disrespects you. Hold your focus when your phone tries to distract you. Speak with purpose when you're tempted to gossip. Stay grounded when your ego wants attention. Every time you choose silence over drama, discipline over comfort, action over excuse, you are training your attitude to protect your future. You're always training something. Train strength. Lesson 11. The world will test you, but your attitude will decide the result. The world is not going to be gentle with you. It's going to test your patience, your worth, your belief, your effort, and it won't always warn you. Sometimes it'll hit you when you're already tired. Sometimes it'll hit you when you finally thought things were going right. That's reality. The world doesn't ask if you're ready. It just throws the storm. But here's the final truth. And it may be the most important. The world can test you, but only your attitude decides if you pass or fail. You might face rejection, but your attitude decides if you collapse or come back stronger. You might lose someone, but your attitude decides if you stay broken or grow wiser. You might fail at your dream, but your attitude decides if you start again or give up forever. People who win in life are not lucky. They are simply the ones who pass the test, not by being perfect, but by refusing to quit. They didn't let the world define them. They let the pain sharpen them. They turned loss into wisdom, delay into patience, silence into power. And that's what you must understand. Life will never stop testing you. But if your attitude is trained, clear, and focused, it doesn't matter what the test is, because no matter what happens, you'll look life in the face and say, I've seen worse, and I'm still here. Lesson 12. Attitude is everything. Because you are nothing without it. There will be moments in your life when you lose your motivation, when nothing feels exciting, when everything feels slow, heavy, and meaningless. You'll question your path. You'll doubt your value. You'll think about giving up. And in those moments, talent won't save you. Education won't save you. Even love won't save you. The only thing that will keep you alive from the inside is your attitude. Because when everything else collapses, attitude is the last thing standing. And for some people, it becomes the first thing they ever rebuild with. You can have all the right tools, but if your attitude is wrong, you'll waste every opportunity. You'll sabotage every relationship. you'll never fully rise. Because attitude is the part of you that shows up when your plans fail, when people betray you, when life changes overnight. It is the quiet strength that says, I will not be destroyed by this. Look around. There are people with less talent, less intelligence, less privilege, but they have something you can't see. A fire, a clarity, a refusal to bend. And that's why they keep going. That's why they eventually win. That's the power of attitude. It does not beg. It does not rush. It does not collapse. It simply endures, learns, adapts, and overcomes. You can survive a broken heart with the right attitude. You can survive failure with the right attitude. You can survive loneliness, poverty, rejection, silence. If your attitude says, I will not stay here forever. Attitude is what builds discipline when motivation disappears. Attitude is what creates clarity when life becomes confusing. Attitude is what keeps you kind when you have every reason to turn cold. Attitude is what keeps you human in a world that tries to numb your soul. You can live without money for a while. You can live without comfort. You can live without validation. But you cannot live powerfully without the right mindset, without a spine of steel, without a soul that whispers, I will figure this out. I was not made to quit. That is attitude, and that is everything. There will be days when no one claps for you, no one believes in you, no one texts you, no one supports you. You'll feel invisible. You'll wonder why life is so quiet. And in those days, you will learn something most people never do. The world doesn't break you. You break when your attitude gives up. But here's the truth you must remember forever. A broken situation can still build a powerful soul if your attitude refuses to quit. Because your life is not controlled by your conditions. It is controlled by how you respond to those conditions. And that response, that fire, that fight, comes from your mindset, comes from your silence, comes from that voice inside that says, this is not how my story ends. You are not helpless. You are not lost. You are not too late. You are not too broken. You are simply one decision away from becoming a different person. And that decision starts with your attitude. So from this moment forward, don't chase people. Don't chase comfort. Don't chase approval. Build your attitude. Build the kind of presence that doesn't need explanation. Build the kind of soul that grows through fire. Build the kind of heart that walks through storms and says, I am still standing, and I'm just getting started. Because in the end, your life will not be defined by how easy it was, but by how powerful your attitude was when it got hard. And if no one told you this before, hear it now. You have what it takes. You've always had it. You just needed to wake it up. And now you have. This is your moment. Attitude is everything. And starting today, so are you. This video helped you see yourself differently. Don't forget to subscribe, because every video on this channel is made to rebuild your mind, reignite your purpose, and help you walk through life with strength. This is not just motivation. This is your training ground. And we're just getting started.